There are a lot of great zombie games these days, many of which are based on movies or television shows. Some take the form of linear action games or first-person shooters, but a growing number of zombie game developers are looking to the survival genre for inspiration. The best survival zombie games find ways to utilize their settings, whether by filling them with death and destruction or lulling players into a false sense of security in safe locations. Both can be incredibly effective in their own way, like the ones I'm going to show you in today's video. Days Gone is a zombie game for those who feel that experiences such as Dead Rising need a more open-world focus. It starts rather slowly, with the motorcycle-riding protagonist scavenging from ravaged roads of the Cascade region, but soon revs up to become a rather intense experience. While most zombie games lose their thread as soon as you find a vehicle, the freakers in Days Gone are more inclined to recklessly leap at you as you speed along the debris-ridden roads, and before too long, you'll have to contend with hordes of zombified humans and animals. If that doesn't sell you, how about the prospect of fending off zombie bears? Unlike the PlayStation 4 version, which struggled with bugs at launch, our Days Gone review explains how much better the PC version is due to the quality of life tweaks the game has received. Though there had been plenty of great zombie games before the release of Dying Light, few had found ways to successfully bring an undead outbreak to the open-world genre. As a result, Dying Light broke a lot of new ground and went on to serve as something of a blueprint for many future open-world zombie games. One of the things that make Dying Light such a great zombie survival game is the threat that some of its zombies pose. Rather than the slow, ambling creatures found in many other undead adventures, the game's infected can come at players pretty fast, particularly at night. This forces them to remain on their toes at all times and encourages the use of the game's fantastic parkour system. Deathly Stillness is a haunting survival game where you must navigate a world overrun by the undead. As a lone survivor, you must scavenge for supplies, fortify your defenses, and fend off hordes of zombies. The game's eerie atmosphere and challenging gameplay make every encounter with the undead a tense and thrilling experience. Yet another zombie defense puts you in the shoes of a survivor fighting to stay alive in a city infested with zombies. You must build and upgrade your defenses, manage resources, and survive against endless waves of the undead. With its simple yet addictive gameplay and a variety of weapons and upgrades to unlock, yet another zombie defense offers a fun and challenging zombie survival experience. Walking Zombie 2 is a story-driven zombie shooter set in a post-apocalyptic world. As a survivor, you must explore the wasteland, complete quests, and fight against hordes of zombies and other threats. The game features a compelling storyline, diverse environments, and RPG elements that allow you to customize your character and improve your skills as you progress. Dead Frontier 2 is a free-to-play survival horror MMORPG set in a zombie-infested world. You must scavenge for supplies, fight off zombies and other survivors, and uncover the dark secrets of the world. The game features a vast open world, intense survival gameplay, and a deep crafting system that allows you to create weapons, gear, and shelter to survive the apocalypse. Dead Maze is a multiplayer survival game set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies. You must scavenge for resources, build shelters, and work with other players to survive. The game features a unique isometric perspective, colorful graphics, and a focus on cooperative gameplay that sets it apart from other zombie survival games. No More Room in Hell is a cooperative multiplayer survival horror game that pits you and your friends against hordes of zombies. You must work together to scavenge for supplies, secure locations, and survive against the undead. The game's focus on teamwork, realistic survival mechanics, and tense atmosphere make it a challenging and immersive zombie survival experience. SAS Zombie Assault 4 is a top-down shooter that puts you in the shoes of an elite SAS soldier fighting to survive against waves of zombies. You must upgrade your weapons, armor, and skills as you progress through increasingly challenging levels. The game features fast-paced gameplay, a variety of weapons and equipment, and intense co-op multiplayer action that keeps you on the edge of your seat. BrainBread 2 is a fast-paced multiplayer zombie shooter that offers intense and action-packed gameplay. You must fight against hordes of zombies while completing objectives and working with your team to survive. The game features a variety of weapons, maps, and game modes, providing endless replayability and zombie-slaying fun. Stay Out is a free-to-play online MMORPG set in a post-apocalyptic world. You must explore the wasteland, scavenge for resources, and survive against mutants, bandits, and other dangers. The game features a vast open world, realistic survival mechanics, and a dynamic day-night cycle that affects gameplay. With its immersive world and challenging gameplay, Stay Out offers a unique and engaging survival experience. For those looking for zombie games on a budget, there's always Unturned. Here, you'll find a world filled with items to loot, a large map to explore, and many blocky-looking zombies. Constant updates ensure that it remains somewhat fresh, even if the core gameplay is similar to DayZ. It may not be the most realistic survival game out there, but it's much more accessible thanks to the simple concept of surviving for as long as possible. Unturned is at its best when you're patrolling the zombie-infested streets with a few trustworthy buddies. No one part of World War Z is all that impressive on its own, but if you're looking for a way to mow down hundreds, no, thousands of zombies with a group of friends or strangers, there's no better game for you. It's loosely based on the 2013 Brad Pitt movie, which was even more loosely based on a 2006 novel, but that's mostly excuse to repurpose the one memorable thing about the film: humongous hordes of zombies that rush through streets and crash around corners like a river through a broken dam. Those who saw The Day Before's rise and immediate fall will likely still be itching for a zombie survival game of sorts, and luckily, there is always DayZ to pick up the pieces. It may have had its early access woes back in the day, but it's at least a complete package. You will still endure that nervy survival phase, flitting from the greenhouse to the gas station to gather gear and avoid conflict. DayZ is one of those simulation games where the ravenous undead is not what haunts your every step. You will still have those Cormac McCarthy moments on the road, scanning a stranger for clues about their intentions. Once you are subsisting on soda and scraps, however, DayZ opens up. That greenhouse becomes a proper farming plot. It is enough to keep you and passing traders alive. Sunset Overdrive is like a zombie apocalypse caused by Mountain Dew or an orange energy drink equivalent. Like Dead Rising, the game impressively showed just how many enemies could litter the screen at once while also showing off a wide range of vibrant colors and interesting characters. It's an early, often forgotten Xbox One exclusive that some will feel didn't get quite as much attention as it deserved. The pedigree of its developer, Insomniac, is ever present in the game though, from its wacky humor to its creative use of projectile-based weapons. Any list of the best zombie games ever would simply not be complete without Left 4 Dead 2. Valve's 2009 zombie horde shooter still holds up today as a quintessential zombie FPS, letting you fly solo or squad up with friends or strangers in a PvE mission to escape, survive, and let bullets rain down on the living dead. Navigating a series of smaller maps and combating wave after wave of zombies is the name of the game, including facing off with special zombie types like the explosive boomers and photosensitive witches. Unlike the slower gait of zombies in games like Resident Evil, though, these undead don't walk, they absolutely run. When you've had your fill of Left 4 Dead 2, why not try one of the other best co-op zombie games of all time? Killing Floor 2 is a chaotic, frantic rush as you blow out undead brains to rambunctious heavy metal. Zombies of all shapes and sizes come at you thick and fast, making Killing Floor 2 an excellent pick-up and play co-op title. But as you devote more time to indulging in a spot of zombie bashing, Killing Floor 2 becomes a zombie game with an engaging tactical element. Do you spend your blood-soaked resources now or save them for a more brutal future confrontation? Most importantly, Killing Floor 2's gameplay feels excellent to play as a wonderfully gory shooter with friends. Its best mechanic is a post-launch edition that has made things even better. Although Night of the Dead does have some open-world sections, these are typically used for resource gathering rather than exploration. Without these vital resources, however, players would struggle to build up their defenses and would likely be overrun by zombies pretty quickly as a result. There have been plenty of zombie-themed tower defense games over the years, but few have managed to blend the genre's mechanics together with realism so seamlessly, nor are many quite as enjoyable as this. Dysmantle is a post-apocalyptic survival game with an emphasis on exploration and crafting. As a survivor of a global cataclysm, you must scavenge for resources, craft tools and weapons, and rebuild society. The game features a vast open world to explore, filled with secrets to uncover and dangers to overcome. With its relaxing gameplay loop and charming visuals, Dysmantle offers a unique take on the survival genre. Scum is a hardcore survival game set on a prison island where players must fight to survive against other inmates, zombies, and wildlife. The game features realistic survival mechanics, including hunger, thirst, and stamina management, as well as a complex health system that simulates injuries and illnesses. With its detailed character customization, deep crafting system, and intense PvPvE gameplay, Scum offers a challenging and immersive survival experience. Dead Rising 3 is an action-packed survival horror game set in a vast open world infested with zombies. As a survivor, you must explore the city of Los Perdidos, scavenge for supplies, and fend off hordes of the undead. The game features a wide variety of weapons and vehicles to use against the zombies, as well as a dynamic day-night cycle that affects gameplay. With its intense action, humor, and exploration, Dead Rising 3 offers a thrilling zombie-slaying experience. If Project Zomboid wasn't still in early access despite first being put up for sale way back in 2011, it would definitely be higher on this list. Zomboid's old-school isometric pixel graphics belie what may be the most ambitious zombie apocalypse simulation ever created. And don't be fooled, this really is meant to be a simulation of what would happen to most survivors if the majority of their neighbors turned into zombies. They'd die. Set in a post-apocalyptic future following a nuclear war, 7 Days to Die's premise is not too dissimilar to that of the Fallout universe. Where it differs, however, is the emphasis that it places on survival, with players having to start from scratch if they perish at the hands or teeth of the game's zombie hordes. Though the game didn't quite live up to some of the promises made during its successful Kickstarter campaign, it's still a lot of fun to play. Nighttime can be particularly enjoyable due to how daunting everything feels, although playing with friends can make survival a lot more manageable, at least until the blood moon occurs on the 7th day, anyway. Techland built on the runaway, shuffle away? The success of Dead Island with Dying Light, another open-world zombie game kitted out with customizable melee weapons and 4-player co-op. Then, the studio, eventually, gave us Dying Light 2, and we couldn't be happier. The excellent parkour system sets Dying Light 2 apart from its rivals. While this open-world RPG game is not without its problems, it easily earns a place as one of the best zombie games of the past year. Like its survivors in a post-outbreak world, Dying Light 2 is a scavenger. Its map icons and diversions are ripped from the Ubisoft formula. The parkour is nicked from Mirror's Edge, but the clambering informs every other aspect of the game, turning this into an explorative, emergent adventure. Dead Island is an open-world game, but one that is a bit more segmented than some of its contemporaries. It's like getting lost in a city landscape, albeit with lots of tropical nature surrounding it. It is a pure zombie game at heart though, and, like Fallout 3, is full of traditional RPG elements. The game was a bit broken when it launched on the PS3 and Xbox 360 back in 2011, but it has now been patched. There's also a collection out on last-gen consoles, making it a lot easier to get hold of, since it is usually on sale digitally, and because it is now more than a decade old, now would be a good time to try it out. Undying is a unique survival game that focuses on the relationship between a mother and her infected son during a zombie apocalypse. As the mother, you must protect and care for your son while also searching for a cure to save him. The game features emotional storytelling, intense survival mechanics, and a haunting atmosphere that immerses you in the character's struggle to survive. With its emphasis on narrative and character development, Undying offers a compelling and emotional take on the zombie survival genre. The Last Stand, Aftermath is a roguelike survival game set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies. As a survivor, you must scavenge for supplies, recruit other survivors, and fortify your base against the zombie horde. The game features procedurally generated levels, permadeath, and a wide variety of weapons and gear to customize your playstyle. With its challenging gameplay and strategic depth, The Last Stand, Aftermath offers a unique and engaging take on the zombie survival genre. Almost 6 years after earning our top spot for Game of the Year for 2013, The Last of Us remains best zombie game ever made. It takes you on a dangerous cross-country journey through an overgrown, largely post-human United States. In addition to mushroom brain zombies that are waiting to rip your jugular out with their teeth, the world is filled with desperate gun-toting survivalists, a repressive government, and savage rebel groups. And best of all, you get to do the whole thing with a snarky teenage girl alternately making fun of you and saving your life. Joel and Ellie's quest is as dark as it is tense. The dilapidated, creepy environments set the perfect tone for the stealth/survival gameplay that cranks up the suspense to almost unbearable levels. This isn't your typical go-in guns blazing zombie game. You'll have to sneak past stronger foes, conserve your ammo, and scavenge for supplies. The action-packed moments let you feel every bone-crushing, face-smashing blow, and the dramatic scenes are just as emotionally engaging. If you're looking for the ultimate zombie survival experience, The Last of Us is by far the best you're going to get. Developed by the same team behind the Zombie Army trilogy, Strange Brigade took quite a few people by surprise when it was released in 2018. Rather than the spiritual successor to Zombie Army that many had expected, the game plays a lot more like Left 4 Dead, although this isn't necessarily a bad thing. The 1930s setting is interesting and makes a refreshing change from the dark backstreets and abandoned research facilities that typically host these kinds of games. The co-op elements also work incredibly well, although the narrative can at times feel a lot more B-movie than it does AA title. For those more interested in gameplay, though, it's a solid pick. Long ago, before the TV show started to suck, The Walking Dead made us giggle a little and made us cry a lot. Through the masterfully written inaugural season, Telltale proved that point-and-click adventure games could somehow manage to terrify. The writing and delivery are minimal and masterful, with the bulk of the effort spent creating flawed characters we love or loathe and then stripping them away one by one. By the end, we wonder if anybody is getting out of this alive. The Walking Dead Season 1 helped kick off a revival of adventure game storytelling which continues to influence game design today. Telltale as we knew it may be gone, but their horror masterpiece remains undead in our hearts. If you're looking for a compelling story, you're better served by the original State of Decay. However, the sequel does an admirable job of fleshing out the first game systems to make for a more satisfying open-world game. Playing like an RPG, State of Decay 2 has a simple yet satisfying core loop. You will pick a protagonist from your community of survivors and take them out into the wild to find the necessary food, fuel, or drugs to keep the rest alive. Once they collapse into bed back home, or under the blows of the undead, you can take control of another character from your base with their background, personality, and combat abilities. So, did you like the games I recommended? So leave your like, subscribe to the channel to follow me and activate the bell because I post a lot of videos on this channel and you can't miss it. Thank you very much for following me this far and until next time, bye.